Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how I lost 90 pounds on Keto Carnivore. I'm Lisa, and aka Kinda Karnivore, and I'm going to be sharing with you my exact journey from keto to carnivore, why I stayed carnivore, and exactly what I ate on both plans. So no matter where you are in your ketogenic lifestyle, I have done the whole thing from keto to carnivore to ketovore and Kinda Karnivore. I've stayed under the ketogenic umbrella for the last over 7 years, almost 8 years. So let's get into it. My journey started in 2017, and I do have a video about my whole journey and how I got started. But today we're going to be focusing on what I ate and what I did when I started my keto journey. So 2017, my keto journey started, and I was in desperation to reverse my prediabetes, and I wasn't thinking about the weight at the time, but the weight just flew off. So I lost my whole 90 pounds while I was still under a keto diet. So what my keto diet looked like is, in the beginning, I was so determined because I didn't want to be on insulin, and my doctor had given me 6 months, that I started and I did the macros, I tracked, I counted everything. So I did a hard route. I don't really teach that route unless people want to do that. But I'm going to tell you the 3 things that I did that made my keto journey really successful. So the top thing that I did is I tracked, you guys. I made sure I was not eating over 20-ish carbs, like between 20 and 30. I was really sticking to that 20. So I tracked everything, and the first 2 or 3 months, I knew, just because my addictive personality, I knew that I couldn't do any of those keto treats and cookies and all that stuff. So I went all in and I tracked, and I really made sure I stayed to those 20 grams. I in the beginning, made sure that I was doing 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. So those were my macros when I started my keto lifestyle over 7 years ago. And I stuck to that. I didn't start making treats or anything like that until maybe 3 or 4 months in. I wanted to make sure I was really past that addictive stage, and and then even then, when that part came, I really had to track, and I really, if I made a recipe, I put all of the macros in MyFitnessPal and exactly how many carbs were in each serving. Like, I tracked everything. You guys, I tracked for like 2 or 3 years. So that's why I think I didn't really hit very many weight stalls, or weight loss stalls, I should say, because I really tracked, I was really persistent, and I was really strict, and I had a mission to just not be diabetic and need to be on insulin. So that's number one. That's the first thing that I did. The second thing that I did, you guys, is I did not cheat. I did not cheat until 2020, you guys know that, but I never cheated. So I lost all of my weight and had maintained it for years, and I didn't cheat. You guys, I didn't cheat. When it was my birthday, I didn't cheat. When it was Christmas, holidays, Thanksgiving, I did not cheat. You guys, don't cheat. It's not worth it. I'm going to do a whole new video on that. But number 2 is, because I didn't cheat, I feel like my journey was very successful. I didn't have very many up and downs or anything like that. The third thing that I did when I was keto is I never gave up, you guys. Never gave up. When things got hard, when I got leg cramps and I didn't know why, because I didn't know about electrolytes, I didn't have a group or anything, I didn't have a person to talk to about it. It was new. I had to learn everything the best way that I could online through influencers. But when I got a leg cramp, I didn't quit. When I got like a headache, I didn't quit. When I ran into things that needed troubleshooting, I did not quit. I had the mindset to not quit, but instead to master it so that I can understand what's happening and and how to fix it. So when those symptoms came up, I learned a lot about electrolytes, and the main electrolytes, sodium, magnesium, potassium. If those three are out, if you're not getting the right amount of those three electrolytes, you're going to have some symptoms. So I learned how to master that, you guys. On my ketogenic journey, I mastered anytime a problem came up. So those are the three things that I did to while I was on my ketogenic lifestyle journey, and I lost my whole 90 pounds, and I was able to maintain that. Is I did tracking, I didn't cheat, and I never gave up. Now, everyone's journey looks different. I'm just sharing my journey with you. That I don't want you to look at this and think, oh my gosh, I have to track and do all that stuff that Lisa did. I'm kind of nerdish. So you don't have to do all of that, but I do want to just share my journey with you. If you're just getting to know me, if you're just joining my channel. So this will be a good time to hit the like button. If you're enjoying this content, please smash the like button and subscribe and share this channel with someone that needs it. So we're going to move on to when I discovered carnivore. Now, while I was on my ketogenic lifestyle journey, I was happy. I was content. I reversed all my symptoms. And I mean symptoms that I didn't even know were going to be reversed, because I was doing it mainly for pre-diabetes. And then 90 pounds fell off on accident. So I lost 90 pounds, but I also lost a whole host of other ailments that I could not believe. So I was really happy on keto. So in 2019, I believe it was 2019, might have been the end of 2018, I did a challenge. So Dr. Berry, I follow Dr. Berry. He's the reason why I ended up doing this lifestyle and sticking with it and reversing everything. So he did a 90-day challenge, a carnivore challenge. And at that time, I did have a group on another platform, and they were asking about carnivore. And I really didn't know about it because I hadn't done it yet. So I decided that I would take the challenge. And I was only taking the challenge so that I would be able to answer the questions that people had in my group. And then I was going to return to keto. That was my plan. I wasn't planning to stay carnivore, but I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I can then answer their questions. So I started this 90-day challenge, carnivore. And I'm going to give you the three things that I love about carnivore and why I stayed. But during my 90-day challenge, things started disappearing, extra things that I wasn't aware of. My eyes were changing. A cataract left. I had carpal tunnel go away. Just things that I thought I was going to just be living with forever because of my age went away. Now, mostly everything went away during my keto, but when I went carnivore, some extra things went away. And then also, when I first started carnivore, I was a little nervous because I didn't need to lose any more weight. I was in maintenance for years, maintaining my weight, happy. So I was afraid that cutting out just the rest of the carbs, I was afraid that was going to take my weight too low. I was also afraid of, what they say when you don't have any fiber. So I know TMI, but I was afraid of, my poops changing. So long story short, I was afraid of that, and I was afraid of what was going to happen. But you know me, I just jump in. I'm going to try it and see what happens. So to my surprise, when I started my carnivore diet, I didn't lose weight. And I think it's because my body knew it was at the right weight. I feel like we have smart bodies. So if you're worried about losing too much weight, we have smart bodies. Our body knows when to stop. So you might set a weight goal for yourself, and your body might go like a little lower, but it's not going to keep going lower. But we'll often set a weight goal for ourselves that's safe to us, that we think we can reach, that we've been at before as an adult. But if we've always been struggling with our weight our whole adult life, we don't really know what our weight is. So for me, I had set my weight at 160. My body ended up going to 150, but I was fighting it. I was like trying to stay at 160, and I was really trying. And I remember watching one of Dr. Berry's videos, and he's like, your body knows when to stop. It's not going to like go to skin and bones. It knows when to stop. So I stopped worrying about that, and I leveled off like at 150. My body likes to be in the 150s. So long story short, when I got on carnivore, my body didn't lose more weight like I thought it was, but it just chiseled up. And so it just kind of like looked like I went to the gym, like it just condensed, or it just, yeah. So long story short, that's when I got a body weight scale, because I'm like, what is going on? Like, I want to see what's going on. I had a regular scale. I got the body fat scale. I know they say it's not perfect or this and that, whatever, but data is data. So it did show that my body fat percentage dropped and my lean muscle mass increased like a little bit, but the little bit made a difference. So although I didn't lose weight, my body composition got better on carnivore. And you guys remember, I don't work out yet. So I'm like, how could this be? So I love that. That's what I loved about carnivore. But let's get into the top 3 reasons why I love carnivore. While I was on carnivore, remember, I was a tracker when I was keto. Well, when I went to carnivore, I'm not eating any carbs. So I didn't have to track. So for that 90 days, I didn't track carbs because I wasn't eating carbs, which was awesome. So that's my number 1. On carnivore, I didn't have to track. So I loved that. I love that. And number 2, like I mentioned, my body got leaner. So it actually got leaner. So just cutting out the rest of those carbs, of course, my protein and fat kind of increased a little bit. My macros were 25-75. That's what felt good for me. And I got leaner and I didn't work out. So I love that. The third thing is that my carb addiction is easier for me to control when I'm not having any carbs. So even though I was keto and I was tracking my carbs religiously, and that's why I think I did well, I still had to do some fight because I was still having some treats. So if I made like peanut butter cookies or something, and even though I'm staying within my 20 carbs, I would still want to eat more cookies. I would still want, and I would go over here and there, but never like, off the rails or anything. But still, it was just like, so hard. And I was like, okay, so when I went carnivore, all of the cravings went away, all of the cravings. So I think getting the rest of those nuts and sugar alcohols out, that is what made it easier for me to conquer my carb addiction. So those 3 things are really what made me stay Kinda Karnivore, because when I got done with the 90 days, I decided I'm not going all the way back to keto because I feel too great. I love the little additional benefits that I got while I did carnivore. So I decided I'm going to be Kinda Karnivore. Some people call that ketovore. I do seasonings. I do 0 carb condiments. I do sometimes use a little bit of monk fruit drops in my coffee, but I don't do any powdery sweeteners. What I had to learn for me is that when I do those powdery packets of sweetener, even though they say it's 0 carbs and it's not, and it has net carbs and it has erythritol or even allulose, any of those powdery things bring back my cravings for sweets. For some reason, if I'm just using the little monk fruit drops, that's all pure extract, no additives as far as erythritol or fillers or fiber, any of that weird stuff, I seem to be okay. But once I have those artificial sweeteners, for some reason, even if they're 0 carb, my cravings come back. So that's why I can't even chew gum because, there's no carbs in it, right? Might be a carb or 2, I don't know. But I'll chew the whole pack. So I cannot do that. So you kind of have to find what works for you. I know a lot of people, that's why I call myself Kinda Karnivore. I made my own little subset under it. I'm not exactly ketovore. I do a few drops of monk fruit here and there, but I don't do any sugar, alcohols, anything like that. So for me, Kinda Karnivore is all of my animal products. I limit dairy a lot because dairy will put weight back on me. So I use it as a condiment. I limit it a lot. On the holidays, I might make a soup or lasagna, a carnivore lasagna or something like that, but I do limit it a lot. But in my day-to-day carnivore, kind of carnivore life, I'm just eating my meats, my animal products, as far as I might put a little sprinkle of cheese on something. I do have my coffee and my seasonings, and I do pickles. So that's my thing that works for me that I have been doing. So I just wanted to share my journey with you. And I know that my channel is kind of like a motivation, inspiration, give you hope, get you out of that thinking, change your mindset about carbs. I'm not really like a food channel, so you're not going to be seeing me in the kitchen making food, because y'all, I just eat meat. So I just eat the meat and add some butter to it. Or, I'm on a high-fat carnivore diet, so I just eat the meat. I'm hoping that this inspires you to start your ketogenic lifestyle wherever you are. If you're starting keto, if you're needing to tighten that up because you still have some unresolved issues, you can tighten it up. Ketovore, Kinda Karnivore, or if you're ready to go all the way carnivore and just get all of the carbs out and get like your maximum healing and weight loss and whatever you're after, you guys, this is the best lifestyle. I've tried them all before this. This is the only lifestyle where I have not reverted and gained all my weight back and am able to get rid of all of my cravings. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're just watching in, go ahead and click the like button if you enjoyed this content. And what's going to pop up right now is my profile pic. You can click on that to subscribe, or click on the next video, which is Mindset Reset Concepts, my free masterclass if you haven't done that yet, or the next video that YouTube thinks would be perfect for you. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope it helps you, and I will see you in the next video.